Caitlin Clark versus Diana Taurasi. Now, this was the game that a lot of people wanted to talk about. This was a game, a proven game, I would say. So, if you all remember, in the off season, before the WNBA season started, we saw Diana Taurasi make some comments about the rookies, and to paraphrase what she said, she basically said, like, hey, it's coming. It is absolute, like, reality is coming for a lot of the incoming rookies. What you did in college is not the same that you did. You can't do the same thing, really, that you did in college and the WNBA. It's a whole different league. And people took that, spun it, made it seem like Diana was attacking Caitlin in particular. And it was on from there. It was absolutely on from there. It was Diana Taurasi versus Caitlin Clark. And the idea that Diana's old and is a hater because she said reality is coming, when indeed reality is coming, but it is coming for Diana Taurasi. That was what some folks were saying. And other people were like, hey, Diana's right. She was a rookie once, a long time ago. A long time ago, she was a rookie. And she knows what she's talking about. And, reality is coming for Caitlin and the other rookie. And we go into this game, one of the most anticipated games of the year, not in terms of talent versus talent, because if that's the case, both of these teams would be way higher in the standings. It was all about sort of the ancillary things other than basketball. It was Diana Taurasi, the player who is 19 years older than Caitlin Clark. It was her facing the young great. It was the old head versus the youngster. And personally, I absolutely loved it. Now, here's one thing that I think a lot of people were thinking, like a lot of people who don't pay that much attention to WNBA, they were thinking that that Diana was like really, anti Caitlin, and she clarified that in the, not that she needed to necessarily clarify, but she did clarify in the post game about her being happy for Caitlin and yada yada. But ultimately, reality came yesterday, and the reality came for the Phoenix Mercury. When it came down to it, both Diana and Caitlin had good games. Caitlin definitely had a way better game. Caitlin almost became the first rookie ever to have a triple-double. Almost. She was one rebound shy from getting that title, which I thought was pretty awesome, the fact that she was even that close. And it just shows, again, what the value of what like Caitlin Clark offers to her team. So yeah, we're gonna get to the actual game in just a sec. I just want to keep talking about these players for just a sec longer, and then we're gonna get on to the actual game and what happened. Spoiler alert: the Phoenix Mercury lost. But the thing that I really liked about the battle between Caitlin and Diana is that it was just all love. It really was. It was all love in this game, and we saw it from this shot. Like, look at the shot. This happened pregame. Both Diana went over and Caitlin Clark. Diana went over to hug Caitlin Clark. Also, BG Brittany Griner came over as well. And I thought it was cool. Like I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, they did what I thought they were gonna do. It's all love. No one's hating on anybody. And it was from the get-go. We saw Diana kind of do her thing. She did finish with 19 points in this game. But the youngster got the final laugh because Caitlin Clark ended up finishing the game with 15 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. Again, guys, she was so close to a triple-double in that game. MA says Coach Sides benched her at the end of the game. She would have gotten that rebound for a triple-double. Well, it was said in the post-game presser that Caitlin did not feel well. So I actually think it was a good thing that Caitlin Clark was not in the game late in the game because, again, she supposedly she was not feeling well, and I believe that. Like, it wasn't like she looked bad at the end of the game, but she looked tired for sure. So supposedly Caitlin wasn't feeling well. I believe that. And I think that's why she was not in the game at the end of the game. All right. Candy says 42 is old on which planet? In basketball, on in the world of basketball, yeah, it's old. Candy, you gotta admit, 42 is old in the world of basketball. You gotta admit it. But to me, I thought this game was pretty awesome. I thought it was awesome to see the old versus the new, and to me, in some ways, it kind of was, you know, a passing of the torch of sorts of this dynamic player in Diana Taurasi. A player who has been in the league for forever, a player who is literally 19 years older than Caitlin Clark right now. And it was her sort of passing the torch, Diana, in terms of like her being like the big deal in women's basketball. It was kind of her passing the torch to Caitlin Clark. That's kind of how I felt the game kind of was. And like with Diana's comments after the game, it just sort of felt like, Diana, reality has come for a lot of people. It has come for the rookies who have realized that the WNBA is way more physical than it ever was. And they realize that, like, you can't do exactly what you did in college in the WNBA, whether that's passing the ball, whether that's scoring, whatever that is, it's very, very different. And reality is coming for, the vets who have been playing basketball for a long time. You can't always do what you used to do. Candace Parker is one of the ones who said it best. She there were plays that happened where, she was like, man, if I felt better, I would be cooking this girl, but I can't. Because I'm older and I can't do as like what I used to do. So reality is coming for everybody. Reality is here for everybody. Okay. So that's kind of what I love about this battle. It kind of was a passing of the torch, in my opinion. But Diana Taurasi still got it. Let her tell it. I mean, she did have 19 points in this game, so she did well. She's playing in the Olympics this upcoming year. And we'll see if this is indeed the last year for Diana Taurasi. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. What Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. And the one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her. And, she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future is super bright. And, being a veteran and being in this league for a long, long time, it's pretty cool to see that and, going into the future.
Now that you've been through half a season, what do you think Caitlin has done for the league?
Oh, I mean, I think more importantly, I think she's done a lot for the Indiana Fever. That's a team that, for the last, couple years is trying to get back to their glory days of Tamika Catchings and putting up banners. So obviously what she's done, I think nationally for the game has been pretty incredible. And, whenever you have that momentum coming out of college and, the eyes on you for 4 years straight. So I think what she's doing for that team right now is pretty impressive. And, that's when I think of her, I think of what she does for her team. Yeah, I love to compete. I loved it. I just love to play basketball. I really didn't care too much about outside noise or what people thought of me or what they didn't think of me. So I enjoyed every minute. I loved it. Being a rookie was cool, man. It was fun. You could do whatever you want. You didn't know any better. It was fun. I loved it. I had a great rookie year. I had a great time.
Living your best life.
Sports Illustrated, Slam. Is that what you mean? Yeah, it was out there. ESPN, the magazine. Yeah, you're too young. You don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, guys. All right. Roderick says, I would love to see Diana get a farewell tour. I could see her as a player who would want a farewell tour. And because she hasn't announced it, maybe she's going to announce it after the Olympics. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if she announces her retirement after the Olympics. And guys, just so you all know, I think Debbie Antonelli was on the call yesterday, and she was talking about Clarkonomics, and Clarkonomics is real. Whether or not you want to admit it or not, it is very much indeed real. We saw 17,000 plus show up and show out in Phoenix to watch the Indiana Fever take on the Phoenix Mercury. To me, I always find it awesome when I see fans show up in like big numbers to watch a game, and Caitlin Clark is really leading the league, and the Indiana Fever are really leading the league in terms of fans coming out, opposing fan groups coming out to watch this game happen. The attendance for last night's game was 17,071. So there's a lot of people who showed up to watch this game. All right, so we talked about the DT versus Caitlin aspect of this game. Now let's actually talk about the game itself, okay?